What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, we are back with another special video to start off the year. So a couple of days ago I did the top 10 figures to end the year 2024. Now we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 figures coming up in 2025. So just to clarify, these are going to be figures that are expected to be released and shipped to us in 2025, and I went based on Sideshow Collectibles' time frame. So there's going to be a lot of figures that are going to have the October 2025 to March 2026 time frame, but very excited to take a look at this video. There's a lot of great figures coming up, and I'm going to be reviewing the 10 the top 10 figures, and just like the previous video, I'll do the top 10, but I will also have honorable mentions. To me, there's just too many figures to choose 10, so I feel like I have to kind of give some credit to others that are coming up as well. So let's go on to the next slide. So this is everything that's being released in 2025. For now, obviously, as you guys know, Hot Toys always has figures that basically gets released out of nowhere, and then they pretty much are ready to be shipped out as well. So I would say I try my best to kind of keep them in order, but then again, I forgot about the Hono Studios figures right here at the bottom, as you guys can see. And just to clarify something, so this guy right here, Anakin Skywalker Artisan Edition from Revenge of the Sith, under normal circumstances, I would have had him in the list without question. But for those of you guys who watched the same video last year, so I also did a top 10 figures releasing in 2024, I had Anakin number 1. So under normal circumstances, I would have had him on the list, but because I already had him on the list last year and he should have been released last year, I'm not gonna have him on the list. So again, just kind of an FYI, again, he would have been on the list, but because I already had him on the list last year, he should have been released last year, I won't have him on the list this year. But that would probably be the only kind of exception that I need to talk about. There are some figures here at the very top that most likely won't be released until 2026, but the reason I have them on here is because Hot Toys does have on the time frame October 2025 to March 2026. So there could be a possibility. And also, Hot Toys has been shocking us a little bit with some of these figures where they were expected to be released at a later time, but all of a sudden they were ready sooner. So because I'm not 100% sure, that's why I might as well just include them, just kind of just to be on the safe side. But as you guys can see, a lot of great figures. And look, on my last video where I did again the top 10 figures of 2024, I thought it was a hard list to do. This was even harder. I cannot tell y'all how much I went back and forth, how much switching I had to do, how much I had to think about this. There's no question that the quality of the figures is much better this year compared to last. Now, that is expected because obviously as time goes by, Hot Toys is going to get better with their figures. So just kind of wanted to point out how difficult it was. To me, in all honesty, there was around 30 to 35 figures that I am super thrilled to get. Just kind of an FYI of how many figures I had. Look, some figures that I guess, if we can call them honorable mentions, to be on the honorable mention list. Look, I'm not going to have the Batman Armory, the 2.0 from the Dark Knight Returns. The reason why, we're just getting one right now from the Dark Knight Rises. So it's like, even though I would assume the setup is going to be absolutely amazing, the figures are going to be great, it's like the fact that we're already getting one from the Dark Knight Rises is like maybe the level of excitement might not be there. Who else? A lot of Ahsoka figures here on the series. I do have one, possibly 2 figures on the list, so just be on the lookout for that. Look, we got Doom, we got the Amazing Spider-Man. So many figures that I wish I could have included on the list, but they just won't be there. But again, it's not because they don't deserve to be there, it's just because it's one of those things where you have to pretty much split hairs. It's like a teeny bitty detail kind of makes the difference for me as to why a certain figure was on the list or wasn't. So just know that this list is based on my opinion and what I think for me personally are my most exciting figures to go for. But there's no question there's going to be a lot of disagreements, a lot of controversy created by this. As I always like to tell you guys, please leave a comment letting me know, your opinion on the list. Feel free to share your own top 10. I'll be more than happy to look at that and discuss those top 10s as well. I think this list is just pretty much subjective, and everybody can pretty much pick and choose who you guys want to get. So I think any opinion is absolutely valid because there's just that many figures that are exciting to be released. So again, the category, my critique on this list is number one, I would say basically, I guess the quality of the figure. That's probably the biggest reason why a figure will be on the list. Obviously, a Griff figure has to be on there, but also to me, the rarity of the figure. There's some figures on here that I've never collected before, so that kind of increases the excitement for me. But that's not gonna apply to everybody. So just know that those are some of the reasons why some of the figures are on here or are not here. But again, enough of that. I know I'm talking too much. Let me go on to the honorable mentions. So let's go ahead and start. So the honorable mentions to me are going to be these three guys right here. All of these three figures are absolutely amazing. All three of them have perfect head sculpts, not good or great, perfect head sculpts based on the prototype. Obviously, once we get them in person, we'll see if it still stands. I do believe that this Spider-Man right here, as well as Ahsoka, they are pretty much ready to be shipped out soon. We should be getting the announcement in the next upcoming weeks, possibly months. But both of these two should be coming in soon. Scarlet Witch. I'm sorry, not Scarlet, excuse me, Black Widow, my apologies. Black Widow from Iron Man 2. She'll probably take a little bit longer, probably around mid-2025. Can't wait to get her as well. But I think all three of them could have been easily on the list. Ahsoka has to me the best head sculpt I have ever seen. Her facial expressions are amazing. I love her outfit. It's absolutely incredible, and I think to me she is the best figure of the whole Ahsoka's collection line. So around 13 or 14 figures. So she is absolutely amazing. And again, I could have easily put her on the list, but again, it's just by the skin of my teeth that I could not put her on the list. Same thing with Black Widow. I really wanted to put her on, but I think there's kind of like a lack of accessories with her. That's probably why I couldn't put her on there. But still, the figure itself is great, and we do get an artisan edition. Again, she could have easily been on the list, but that's just how good the other figures are going to be. Now, to Spider-Man. The black suit, to me, is absolutely incredible. This version of Tobey/Peter was just so great and so iconic. Normally, I would have had this guy possibly even at number one. That's how excited I am for him. I'm the biggest Tobey Maguire, Raimi Spider-Man fan you guys can find. I'm in my mid-20s, close to 30, so I grew up with these movies, and I am such a big fan, and I enjoyed this version of him, even though a lot of people are not that happy with Spider-Man 3. Some would call it the worst of the three movies. Still in all, this version of Tobey/Peter was so iconic. The reason I don't have him on the list is because this figure does have flaws, and again, that's just based on the prototype. Some of the flaws: number one, the body proportions. The guy is a little too skinny, scrawny. He's more muscular, and I've seen a lot of people complain about that. This head sculpt to me is perfect, as I mentioned before, but his masked head sculpt, and I should have included that image right here, and I apologize, I should have included the image, but the mask head sculpt is the same shape as the figure that we got for No Way Home with his regular colored suit, and a lot of us were not big fans of it. We all know that the Spider-Man mask head sculpt has a really weird shape to it, but let's just say Hot Toys hasn't been able to get it, and they didn't get it with this prototype for this black suit Spider-Man. And then another thing also, it has a Venom face accessory added on there that is also not accurate. So some things that are not accurate about this guy have maybe not be able to put it on the list. I'm hoping that they made those changes. It's taken a long time for them to release the figure. He should be coming up in the next upcoming weeks. I'm hoping they make those changes, but we'll see, right? I really don't expect them to do so, but again, we'll just wait on that. But because of those reasons, I can't include it in the top 10. But I promise you guys, as far as just the idea of getting him, he would have easily been in the top 10. But again, those flaws make me not be able to put him. And by the way, I want to apologize. I know I'm talking a little bit too long, but I just want to make sure that I explain myself correctly and adequately as to why am I putting or why not am I putting a certain figure on the list. So let's start at number 10. So number 10, I think I'm going to create a lot of controversy on with this guy because, yeah, we've gotten a lot of Vaders recently. We got the Kenobi series Vader, we got the Return of the Jedi 40th year anniversary Vader, and now we get this Vader kind of on the Force Unleashed, I believe. Kind of I guess the idea was based on that. And look, some of it is based on me and how much of a fan I am of Vader. Again, the logo of my profile pic is Vader, so he is as one of my favorite characters of all time. And the reason I have him on the top 10 is because of all of the options that we're gonna get with this guy. First and foremost, I don't think we've got an option like this one right here in the middle with previous Vaders. Also, we get for the first time a full Hayden Christensen Anakin head sculpt with the burn marks and all of the rips and all those things, and the skin texture just looks absolutely amazing on the whole prototype head sculpt. And every single option is going to be great. So whether it's the full helmet with the small hole right here, the full Anakin head sculpt, the full Anakin head sculpt but with the small Vader piece on it, and then also I would assume we're going to get the regular Vader helmet, the fact that we get this rip leg, this rip part of the piece, all the battle damage pieces. So many options with the guy that even though I know, yes, another Vader is like, I can't wait for the guy. It's just gonna be so exciting. And also we're gonna get, and I didn't include the image on this part of the video, but as you guys know, we're also going to get a cape that's going to be, I'm not sure if wire, I think it's going to be pretty much already sculpted that way, but it gives us an iconic pose with the guy, also a different display base. So yes, another Vader, but again, it's so many different accessories and so many different options for me as a collector. Look, even the right here, his limbs, which are see-through limbs, the suit is completely broken apart. So just so many options with the guy that there is no way for me personally that I could have put him on left him off the list. So again, if you guys feel like he shouldn't be on here, I completely understand. Again, another Vader, but still just understand that because of so many options that we're getting with the guy, that's why I have to have him on here. So at number 10, Vader. The reason he's not higher would probably be because, again, another Vader. So just an FYI on that. Number 9, so I'm kind of cheating on this one, and if you guys want to go off on me for this, feel free to do so. But again, just understand, so many figures, I just couldn't leave some of them off, so I kind of decided to join some of them. The only reason I did it is because, well, in this case, Batfleck, it's two different suits, but it's the same character and also the same movie. Now, just an example, let's say if we would have gotten armored Batman from Batman vs Superman, but then we would have gotten the regular suit from, let's say, Justice League, then no, I would not have done that because it's just different movies. But the fact that it's two different suits, but it's the same character and it's the same movie, that's kind of why I wanted to join them together. But for me, these two figures, I cannot wait to get them. They should be also releasing soon, and to me, the Ben Affleck head sculpt is great. I can't go perfect, but it's a really good one. The skin texture is on point. With the armor Batman, I believe we're gonna get some die cast pieces on here. Also, the half Affleck face looks great. His regular helmet looks absolutely amazing. The weathering pieces and the battle damage armor looks great as well. His regular suit is great. Also, they're both 2.0s, and excuse me, both of them show a lot of improvements compared to the 1.0s. The display base for for the regular suit is perfect as well, as actually also for the armor Batman. So both of these figures are amazing, and I cannot wait to get both of them so that way I can complete the collection with my Enlarged Superman. So it's going to be very exciting to get them both. Why don't I have them higher? Honestly, that's a great question. Why don't I have them higher? I could have had them higher, but again, as I mentioned before, these are figures that I really had to think deep about it, and I had to split my own hair just thinking about it because of how hard it was. I guess the reasoning is because I do already have other Batfleck figures in the collection. I'm guessing that's probably why I couldn't have them higher, but this guy could have easily been higher because of how great the quality is of the figure. Possibly another reason is because of how disappointed I am in DC. Let's not forget, this guy is no longer going to play Batman, so that's kind of another reason why I'm not too thrilled about the figures, maybe. But still, in all, the quality of them is there. Both figures are phenomenal, and I cannot wait to get them both in the collection. So Mr. Batman himself, Armor Batman, both pieces from the Batman vs Superman movie at number 9. At number 8, this is another controversial one. Again, another Tom Holland figure, but I had to have him on here. Number 1, we get an artisan edition look to it. I would assume that we're gonna have to do a lot of styling since he has short hair, but the Tom Holland head sculpt is what does it for me and why I have him on here. To me, it is a perfect head sculpt again. The skin texture, I love it. It has this this pale look to him. The kind of red shading underneath his eye to kind of show him how beat up he is. The red kind of makeup on his cheeks also. The suit itself looks great to me. The only complaint that not complain, but only kind of small recommendation that I wish they would have done with this guy is to make his suit diecast. Again, since technically these are pieces made by Iron Man, why not just do a diecast? That would have been such a great improvement. But also, we have a lot of accessories with the guy. So we have his spider mechanical arms that go on his back. We get the Infinity Gauntlet. We also get, I think, Thor's hammer with a spider web kind of accessory connected to it from that scene where he's pretty much being held on by the hammer as he's trying to get away with the Infinity Gauntlet. So a lot of accessories. The display base is perfect as well, but to me it is the Holland head sculpt and the fact that we're getting both artisan edition and also sculpted hair that does it for me. So I know it's a controversial one because again, we've gotten so many Holland figures that it's a point where like, yeah, we'll be thrilled for it, but not as thrilled as maybe other figures that are first timers. But still in all, to me, the quality of the figure is so great to me that there's no way that he could not have made the list. I had to put him on here, but feel free to critique me on this one because again, I know he possibly should not have been included here because of how many Holland figures we've gotten in the past years. But still in all, very excited about him. The quality of the figure is just perfect, and I did get the artisan edition, so very thrilled to see how good the head sculpt turns out to be. So at number 7, another controversial one, so it's Wanda. Yes, another Wanda. A part of me did not want her to include her on the list. As I thought about her, I was like, okay, yeah, another Wanda. I already have 2 other Wandas. Both of them are great looking, and they have amazing body proportions. The head sculpt is perfect for both of them as well. So I'm like, why include another Wanda? But then I started looking at the images, and I could not help myself. Number 1, there's some differences from this figure compared to the other ones. I think the head sculpt is just a little better for this one compared to the other 2 from the WandaVision series and also from Multiverse of Madness. Now, I think both of the head sculpts for those movie/TV series were great, but I think there is a little bit more of a skin texture with this one. Also, the artisan look. This is the first time we get one for Wanda. Also, for the first time, we're getting rotating eyeballs for this Wanda. We did not get that for the Multiverse of Madness version, and Hot Toys was very clever to do that because they knew they were going to release this figure, so that's why they didn't do rotating eyes for the Multiverse of Madness Wanda. But this one has it. Also, the display base is an absolute masterpiece. Her accessories and things like that are great as well. Her outfit looks perfect also, and I'm also just such a big fan of Wanda. I can't help myself. I'm a big fan of Elizabeth Olsen. I've always had a big crush on her, and she is so great. I feel like she's one of our favorite characters for the whole MCU kind of fan base. So I'm sorry, I just could not help myself and leave her off. I'm very excited to get this figure, and I think I did do the artisan edition. I'm not 100% sure if I did the sculpted version. Either way, I'm happy about it. But yeah, very excited to get this figure, so I couldn't help myself. I have her on number 7. Again, feel free to critique me on this, because I know she probably shouldn't be on here because of how many Wandas we've gotten recently. We'll see if we ever get another Wanda, depending on what her future holds in the MCU. So number 6, God Loki. So this one, to me, it does make more sense why we have him on here. Number 1, this look to him, it's the first time. He's pretty much covered in this green robe, and then his crown is so much thicker and bigger compared to what we used to have either on Avengers, the first movie, some of the Thor movies. This crown is absolutely massive. And also, I think that, to me, what comes into place is, number 1 is also artisan. His head sculpt is perfect to me. This would be my first ever Loki, so that also does come into the equation. But at the same time, I can't help myself but think of how iconic this scene was for him. Both of the Loki seasons were perfect to me. I love the TV series. It was absolutely amazing. I thought for a second Loki was pretty much saving the MCU. The MCU was not having a lot of success with previous Disney TV series, but I thought his specifically was perfect, both season 1 and season 2. Not really sure which one is the best, but to me, the ending that we have to this series is perfect. It's like, to me, he gets his reward for how he has transformed. And I think that, to me, the character transformation, what we used to have with the old Loki to this Loki, the fact that he is the savior of the whole multiverse, who would have thought that would have happened 10 years ago? So it's like, to me, a lot of those things come into the equation of why I'm excited to get the figure. And also the whole display base and the whole setup, having him in that golden chair with all of the timelines being held on his hand, is going to be very exciting. And again, the head sculpt to me is an absolute masterpiece. The whole figure in itself, and as I mentioned before, my first ever Loki, is the reason why I have him on the list. So God Loki at number 6. Number 5 is another one that I cannot wait to get, and I feel like you guys will be shocked that I have him so high, but I've heard a lot of people very excited to be about this figure, and it's General Grievous from Revenge of the Sith. So number 1, I'm a big fan of his, especially from the Clone Wars. I thought he's very I would say kind of clever, kind of funny in some ways, but the guy is such a big unit of a figure. I love the fact that also this figure is going to have some die-cast pieces to it, so that is amazing as well. And I feel like us fans, we've been waiting so long for a General Grievous. I was always tempted to get the Sideshow Grievous, but I just knew that at some point Hot Toys would come up with one, and I'm so glad I didn't buy the Sideshow one. No disrespect to them, I thought that their Sideshow figure was really good as well, but to me the Hot Toys one is definitely an upgrade. We get 4 lightsabers, we get a lot of accessories with the guy. As I mentioned before, some pieces of his armor are die cast, and then even though we can't really see the eyes, his eyes are rotating as well, so that's also a good thing. But to me, again, it's the fact that it's my first Grievous, how big the figure is, how iconic the character is, and the fact that we haven't gotten a Grievous in a long time, so that's why I have him so high at number 5. Maybe he is a little bit too high, but still, no, I'm just very thrilled to get the figure. So yes, Mr. Grievous at number 5. Cannot wait to go ahead and get him. Number 4, so once again, I repeat the same thing as with Batflex, so I have 2 figures in one. Again, apologies, feel free to go off on me if you guys want to, because I know this is kind of cheating, but still in all, as I mentioned before, it's the same character with, well, technically it's not the same character, Stephen Mark, whatever, but still, you guys get the point. It's Oscar Isaac in the TV series Moon Knight, and Mr. Knight, both figures, again, as I mentioned before, it's the same TV series, but just 2 different outfits. As I mentioned before, had it been just, let's say, for example, Moon Knight from this series, but Mr. Knight from, let's say, an upcoming Marvel movie or a Moon Knight season 2, okay, then at that point, it wouldn't be fair. But the fact that they're both from the same series, that's why I have them here kind of joined together at number 4. So these figures were just barely announced, and I'll be honest, I'll be shocked if they do arrive in 2025, but because they do have the time frame, and because also we sometimes get shocked and get the figures before we thought they would get here, that's why I decided to include him on here. Now, some people won't agree with this opinion because there was a Moon Knight release about a year ago, but I didn't get that figure, so this would be my first ever Moon Knight, and I think that both figures have high quality. The Oscar Isaac head sculpt for both is perfect, and I think that they're different head sculpts. The skin texture looks different, and also the way that the hair is done. Yes, I have the Artisan Edition on here, and I believe there's not a sculpted hair version, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but both head sculpts are perfect. No question, we can see Oscar Isaac. The suit is perfect as well. It has a lot of weathering to it, and also I really like the series a lot. I thought Moon Knight was another great series, like Loki, that it was very mysterious in its own way, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I didn't know what to expect the first time that I saw it, but it turned out to be very, very good, and I was very happy with it. But to me, the fact that we're getting two figures from the same series with different looks but the same character, it's just amazing to me. And yeah, without question, this guy has to be on the list because of how great the quality is of both of the figures. So cannot wait to get Mr. Moon Knight and Mr. Knight both at number 4. Number 3, I'm gonna shock you with this, guys. I didn't expect to have this guy so high, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. So I have Darth Maul from, obviously, the Phantom Menace. So number 1, I'm a big Maul fan, especially in the Clone Wars. I thought that in the Phantom Menace, he kind of got a bad deal. He wasn't shown that much, and look, we didn't really get to know the guy for who he is again at that point. Obviously, with the Clone Wars, yes, we got a little bit, somewhat Rebels as well, but with the movie specifically, it felt like it was so short as far as his time frame that we really didn't get to know him. But the figure, again, this would be my first Maul ever, so that also comes with it. With me having him at number 3, and then also with the Sith speeder, I did get that along with Maul. So having the whole combo is gonna be great. His outfit looks perfect, but there's no question that for me, the reason why he's so high is because of the 2 head sculpts. Number 1, we get 2 head sculpts. Who would have thought that we would have gotten 2 head sculpts with this figure? But we do, and both are perfect, man. Both the facial expression is on point for both of them. I really love both of them. It's one of those things where it's hard to really decide which head sculpt is better, but both are just that good. And the whole outfit looks great as well, so I'm very excited to get him. And it's just, to me, the quality of the figure, how great that is. The head sculpts are amazing as well, and the Sith speeder to add on to it is great. And also, again, I don't know when we're gonna ever get another Darth Maul, so the fact that we got it this time is why I'm excited as well. And again, my first ever Darth Maul. He should be releasing pretty soon, within the next upcoming months. So cannot wait to get him. So I have Darth Maul from the Phantom Menace at number 3. So number 2, this is a no-brainer for me. It's and once again I'm cheating, so I apologize, but I feel like this time it's a little bit more justified because it's just basically the same figure, but one image has him without a shirt, another one is with his shirt. So it's Wolverine from the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously we get 2 versions for him, so we get his regular version with his mask, but then also we get the TBA jacket version, which I thought was a really weird name for him. But this is obviously from the end scene from the movie. Yes, I'm dropping spoilers. I mean, the movie's been pretty much released for almost 8 months. Come on now, guys. I feel like everybody should have watched it at this point. But to me, what I'm excited for, number 1, yes, I'll admit it, the hype of the movie, getting Hugh Jackman to come back as Wolverine, and the fact that we for the first time get him with his comic accurate yellow-blue suit was such a thrill. But then also the quality of the figure. So to me, Hugh Jackman's head sculpt is all pretty much perfect, I would say. His mask is also amazing, and then also the silicone body that we get with the TBA jacket version is also perfect to me. The skin texture with all his hairs, his vein work, his muscles, and then also all of the cuts and how legit they look is what makes it for me. It's just a very, very high quality duo of a figure, and I cannot wait to get both of them. And pretty much I can't wait to pretty much complete the whole collection for Deadpool. Deadpool. So very excited to get Wolverine. There's no question he had to be on the list. I guess it's just a matter of where you guys want to rank him. But I'm so thrilled to get both of these figures. I guess I mentioned before, the head sculpt is perfect and both of the figures are great. So that's why I have him so high at number 2, Mr. Wolverine from the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. And then to end the list, number 1, this is to me also a no-brainer. Yeah, to me, this is not even close. Him at number 1. Yes, I know that the timing is not the greatest. Obviously, we just had Joker 2 come out, and it was a disaster of a movie. I went to watch it once, and I will be honest, and it's not to exaggerate, and I know I'm not in the moment because it's been a couple of months. That Joker 2 was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It was pathetic, it was horrendous, and it's the complete opposite of the first movie. To me, the first movie was one of the best movies I've ever seen because of how creepy and how, let's just say, they did such a fantastic job of interpreting the Joker. I know a lot of people are going to hate me saying this, but to me, that first movie, Joker, was probably the best Joker I've ever seen portrayed, just because it showed this kind of this really crazy side to Joker, and also it kind of shows how he became that way, and just all the different looks that we got for the guy. And yeah, it was such an amazing movie to me, the first one. So because it was from the first movie, and then also, as I've always mentioned before, to me, a bad movie is not gonna allow me to say that a figure is bad. Like, to me, there could be amazing figures even in a bad movie. So, and by the way, the first Joker movie wasn't a bad one, but I know that we're just coming off of this Joker 2 movie, so that's why a part of me understands you guys not thinking that he should be on the list. But again, oh, and by the way, this is from InArt. So had there not been a 4-pack figure set from InArt, I would have included the Artisan Edition by Hot Toys, which has the regular red suit, which is the second figure right here. But the fact that InArt released 4 figures for the premium version, and yes, I am getting all 4 of them with all of the accessories, and how accurate the head sculpts are for Joaquin Phoenix for all 4 looks is just perfect to me. The fact that we're getting seamless arms, all of the outfits, the display bases, the accuracy of the figure. Yeah, there's no question to me, this guy has to be number 1. Had there been only one figure, yeah, I could have possibly included them on the list, but not at number 1. But the fact that it's 4 figures in one set, to me, it is a no-brainer that I have to have Joaquin Phoenix's 4-piece Joker by InArt at number 1. So this is pretty much going to be it for the video. So this is my ranking. So I hope you guys liked it. Feel free, please, to let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with me on this. Feel free to share also your own top 10, or just your top figures that you're waiting for this year. Which figures are you guys collecting as well? I'm very thrilled to see what you guys have to say on that. Let me know why you disagree or why you agree with certain parts of my list. Feel free to also go off on me. I know I included some very controversial figures here on this list, but just know that this is my opinion, and this is just based on how excited I am to get a specific figure, which to me, I am excited to get all of them, all 50-60 figures that are being released this year. I should be collecting around 30 to 40 this year, so very excited to get all of them. But to make a list is very hard. I'm pretty much splitting hairs, so it was not easy. But just to kind of let you guys know what's coming up on my channel, so now that I've pretty much gotten the ranking list out of the way, I should be going back to the figure unboxings. I have a lot of unboxings coming up, so stay tuned into my channel. As always, subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you're tuning in to my future unboxings. Remember also, I am on Instagram and TikTok, so feel free to follow me on both of those links, so that way you guys can see my daily images of my figures, as well as upcoming updates on my channel. So want to thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this video of the top 10 figures coming in 2025. Feel free to like and leave a comment giving me your opinion on the list, and also giving your own list as well. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.